Hey everyone, so in this video we will take a look at a brand new tool which just came to the market called AirCode, and it will just game changer for the backend developers. So if you know, when you are writing backend code you have to write some setup code for nodejs and also mongodb, but with AirCode you don't have to write it at all because it requires no local setup and you can just directly code on a browser. So as you can see, I am on a browser and here you can code and then use an API, which this AirCode will provide an API, so you can use that in your JavaScript code to fetch all the informations and to fetch all the data. So if you just don't know nodejs and mongodb at all, then also you can use this AirCode to build a full stack application and don't worry about any code. Okay, so this AirCode has an integrated MongoDB and file storage. That's why you can just store any data in the file in AirCode in a browser and don't worry about MongoDB at all. So let's start and let's see how to do it. Well, let's go to this official website of AirCode. So you just have to type AirCode and hit enter and click on this first link here, and there you go, you will come to the home page of AirCode. So you first have to log in. So first of all, click on login and I will just continue with Google, and after login it will ask you some questions over here. So first of all, in the role I will just select student, and in the team size I will select individual. Okay, and this is optional, so you can leave it empty over here and then hit submit and it will give you a tutorial. Okay, so let's start the tutorial over here. First of all, so as you can see, it is showing you all the steps. So this is step 1 of 5 here. So let's just click on this node.js app, and this is the name of your first app. Okay, so let's create, and here as you can see there is a TypeScript button over here. So if you want your code in TypeScript, you can check this box as well, and then you can see there is a pre-code written over here, and which will explain, I will explain you later on. So as you can see, it is showing me this button over here to go to debug, or you can say to run the code over here. So I'll just click on it, and let me just first of all zoom a little bit. All right, now as you can see here, it is showing me to click on this debug button here. So let's do that, and as you can see there is a console which is like giving the output. So I will click on this next button over here, and as you can see now it is showing to deploy. This is the final step to deploy your code, and that's the most amazing part of AirCode. You can just deploy this code and use a URL in your like JavaScript code to fetch the database or anything you want. So let's deploy it finally. So you can see this, and you can see all the files that will be deployed. So there is a single file hello.js, as you can see on the left. So let's click on deploy, and it will take some time and it will deploy it for us. So let's wait, and you can see all the total size is 3.6 MB over here, and now it is ready. So let's click on this go to invoke, and this is the URL you can use to fetch this code over here in your JavaScript part. So that is the most important thing of this AirCode. So you can just copy it, and now you can see open in the browser. So you can see I just like paste that same URL in a new tab over here, and that's, look at that, let me just zoom a little bit. That is the API response over here. This is a JSON, and it will just return the item that we have just entered. And now you can see there is a database option over here, so you can just click on it and click on finish. Now our tutorial is done, and you can see there is a inbuilt database, so you don't have to write any of the code for node.js or mongodb. So how cool it is. So as you can see here, there's two entries over here. First one is test123 and the test123, because we have run the code 2 times. So as you can see, you can just copy this code over there, and every time I just open a new tab and paste it and hit enter, it will call the API and run the code, and in return it will give this response to me. Okay, so if just I reload the database once more, as you can see now there are 3 entries. So how cool it is. And now finally let me explain you this code, what it does. So first of all, if you just work with node.js, you can see you have to require the express. Similarly, we have required AirCode. Then you have to write module.export, so you don't have to like worry about all this code. This will be pre-written in your folder. This will be pre-written in your file, so you don't have to worry. And it will take params and also context. Then it is just console logging the params, all the params if you pass in the API over here. Then this is the main part. This is the table name. So as you can see, the table name is table xyz, and this is the exact name written over here. Okay, then what I am doing, I am just inserting a data. So if you notice, if you know, in MongoDB, to insert a data you have to write insert many, and in the brackets you have to provide the data. But in AirCode, this is the format to insert a data. You have to await and then write the table name dot save, and inside this you have to provide the key and value pair. Then what we are doing, we are just returning the result. So that's the result we are getting over here. So let me just modify this code a little bit. I will close the other tabs. So I will make a new table. Okay, I will make a new table called new table, and then in the I will just make a new value pair. So I will make a new name. So I will make a column name of name, and then provide a value of twd. Okay, so I have written here name, which will be the name of the column, and the value is twd. So first of all we have to deploy it all as well. So click on deploy and then deploy it, and after it deploys you can see the URL will be the same. Okay, so you don't have to copy it again and again. So let me just call the URL again and hit enter, and now as you can see the data has been changed. So you can see the name is twd, and you can also see the created at and updated at and the ID as well. But the main thing is there should be a database. So let me just reload it, and now as you can see there is a new database over here. There's a new table called new table, and there it is, the value twd. Okay, so that's how you can create a table. And not only that, you can just simply use this URL in your JS code to easily fetch and like do various operations on this table. So it will just completely change the backend game forever. Okay, you don't have to worry about node.js setup code or any mongodb. Okay, if you just don't know any of node.js and mongodb as well, you can just simply use AirCode and build a full stack application. So now let's see the documentations of it, because I have only show you how to insert a table, sorry, how to insert an item in a table. But let's see how to make CRUD operations as well. So here as you can see there is a docs section. So click on docs. On the left hand side you can just see any of the docs you want, but we will see the CRUD operation. So here it is in the database section, there is insert data. So let's see what it tells us. So there it is, as you can see, use table.save to insert this record. So this is the way that you can save or insert an item, and that's exactly what we have done here to insert a data. Now we have learned how to insert a data, so let's learn how to find a data or how to fetch a data from a table. So this is how you can fetch a data. So you can just write await table name and then where, and you have to provide the condition and then dot find. So this is the way you have to use the find operation. So let me just copy it and use it in our code over here. So I will just comment this one down. Okay, so I will just comment this, because whenever I will call this, it will again and again like insert the same value. Okay, and I will paste the find command over here. Then what I will do, I will write over here name, and in this I will write twd. Okay, so this is the value that I have entered, and in the inventory table, this is not the table name, so I will give the table name xyz, or let me just name it table name. Okay, so this is a good name, and I will just paste it here. But before deploying, you have to also return this matched records. Okay, so don't forget to write that. And now we will deploy it Alright, so it has been deployed. So let's copy the code over here. Okay, and now run it and let's see what it will give in response. And yep guys, as you can see, it is giving me the exact response. The name is TWD. So as you can see, that's how you can like get a value from the table. And now let me just insert some more values over here. Okay, so now I will write here John, and then to insert multiple values at a time, you can provide an array. So how to do that? So let me just write in let array is equal to this, and it should be an array of objects and then name and then a second name. So let's say user1. Okay, and in this save over here, you just have to pass that array. Okay, so let's change the table name as well, and just remove this return from here because we are debugging it, so we don't want any return. Yep, as you can see, it did not give any error. So let's check on our database, and yep, as you can see, there is our data. So John user1, and we previously inserted TWD. So let's now get all the data. Okay, so first of all, I will comment this array over here and also this save command. Now I will use to get all the values. So to get all the values, you can see the docs over here. You can see find all the records in the table. Let me zoom. Okay, so to find all the records, you can use this command over here. So you just have to empty the where. So just like that, and debug it. And now you will get all the oops. So we have to also console log it. Okay, and console log matched records. Okay, just like that. And now I will debug it, and here you can see there is all the values that we have created. So the first one is TWD, then John, and then user1. So there you go, you can find all the data in this way. So this is the find method. So now let's see other methods as well. So the next method is update. So how you can update a data in a table. Okay, if you know, in mongodb you have to use .update command and then use set to update a value, but in this one you can see this is the way you can update. So I will just copy it and paste it in our code over here after the console log. So as you can see, this is the table name. I will write here over table name. Okay, just like that, and inside where you have to provide the value that you want to change. So I will just write name TWD. Okay, so I want to change the name TWD to Techie Web Dev. All right, so in projection you have to write name TWD and quantity, you just remove it, and now in here you can simply write record dot name, and this should be equal to Techie Web Dev. Okay, that's it, and then change the name of the table, and yep, that's it. And now what I will do, I'll just simply run the code. So let's run it, and that's it. Now let's take a look at our database. So if anything has changed, and yep, as you can see, the name of our TWD has changed to Techie Web Dev. So that's how you can update a value in database in AirCode. Alright, so let's see the final operation, which is delete. So in the delete, you have to just find the data that you want to delete and write dot delete, and in the brackets you can fit the data. So that's all you have to do. So I'll just copy this code over here and then paste it under this, and let me just comment all this out, and I have to change the table name to my actual table name, and from this also. Then you have to, in where you have to write the condition. So I will just delete this user1. Okay, so for that I will write name, and this will be equal to user1. That's it. And I will just debug it, and as you can see, it has given no errors. So let's see our database, and yep, as you can see, user1 is being deleted. So that's how you can delete a value from the database. So after we have seen all the CRUD operations, now let's make a complete login and sign up form, and you will see the difference between AirCode login sign up form and the traditional form in which we make a login and sign up form with nodejs and mongodb. So in AirCode it will be so easy. So let's start with that. Alright, so let's start with our login and sign up form. So as you can see, I have two files, HTML and one of JavaScript. So let's write some HTML first. So I will write the boilerplate, and I will make a heading of AirCode tut, and then I will make a div, and I will give it an ID of login count because it will be our container for login form, and inside that I will write a heading called login to just know that it is a login form. I will write here login, and then I will make some input tags. So let's write them. So the first input tag will be of email, and I will also write a placeholder in that called email, and then I will give it an ID of login email. Okay, so I'll just copy it down and do the same for password, and in the placeholder I will write password, and in this I will write login password. Okay, just like that. And one more last input tag which is for the submit, just like that, and I will also provide the value called submit. I will also add a button to go to the sign up page. Okay, so I will write go to sign up page, and here I will give it an ID of go to sign up. That's it. So I will just do the same for the sign up form here, and I will write here sign up. Then also in sign up we also need a name, so there will be an extra input tag. So this will be the type of text, and placeholder will be name, and then here we have to write sign up name. Okay, and similarly this and this as well. All right, and also we have to make a button to go to the login page, just like that. So one more page is left, which is home page. So I'll make another div and give it an ID of home count, and I have to change the ID here as well. Let's write sign up count. Okay, so the home count I make an h2 tag called home, and then an h3 tag I will get an ID of home name. Okay, in this we will just write the name of the user. Okay, but for now we will just write hello. So let's save it and click on the go live button to see what our website is looking like. So as you can see, our website is looking something like this. What I will do here, I will just write some br tags between the input tags. Okay, just like that, and for the sign up count as well. All right, let's save it and see once more. So as you can see, this is some basic, very basic login and sign up form. There is no css used. Now let's write some JavaScript before going to our AirCode. First of all, I will include the JavaScript folder file here. So I will just write script.js in here, and in our JavaScript file, first of all, what I will write document dot get element by id, and then I will write here signup count dot style dot display is equal to none. I will do the same for the home page. I will write here home count, and after that what I will do, I will write document dot get element by id. Then whenever someone will click on go to sign up button here, then I will write add event listener click. So whenever someone will click on this go to sign up button, we will just do the display of sign up count block and the display of login count none. So I will just copy this from here, and what I will do, it will be block and then none for the login count. Okay, just like that. Now I will just simply copy this and do the same for the go to login button. Just I have to replace it none here and block over here. So let's see if it is working or not. So yep, as you can see, it is showing the login form, but as soon as I go to the sign up form, so yep, as you can see, now I am in sign up form, and whenever I will hit submit, it should take me to the home page, but that we will add later. So now it is time to go to our AirCode and write some code over here. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to create two more files over here. So as you can see, there is a file icon to add a file, so click on it, and here I will name it login.js and hit enter. And yep, as you can see, there is a pre-written code here, so you don't have to write anything. And one more file over here which will be for signup.js. And yes, I am using two different APIs, so one for login and one for signup, but you can also like write all this code in one file, but I am just avoiding that to like not make any mess in the code, so that's why I'm using two different files over here. And for the hello.js, I will just comment out all of this and save it. Okay, we don't need that hello.js anymore. Now we will work with login.js. So let's write some code in login.js. So first of all, I will remove this console log from here. Now first of all, we need to create a table. So how we can create a table? It's very simple. You just have to make a constant. So I'm making a constant, and then use AirCode .db .table. That's it. And inside this you can write a name and it will create a new table. So I'll make login sign up. That's it. And if I just save it and run it, now you will see that there will be a new table in our database. So if I just click on database and click refresh, so okay, so I think you need to write some entries to get the table. So let's just quickly add in data and see if our table is ready or not. So here I'll simply write name twd and click on this debug here. Oops, we need to change the table name. So now it will work. Alright, so let's see our database. And yep, as you can see, there is our new table over here, and this is our entry. So after that, let's write some code for the sign up for the login page. So if you know, in the login page, the user need to provide his name, sorry, not name, email and password. So how we can get the email and password from the user? So for that we will use params. So if I just deploy this login.js, so first of all let me just deploy it. We will not deploy hello and sign up, so and hide divs, and I will just deploy it. And as you can see, there is our URL. Now what I can do, I can just simply paste it, and here in the URL you can see I'm just writing a question mark and then name is equal twd. So that's the params I was talking about. So this is the parameter that we can use to get the email and password in our AirCode. So now I will make a constant here. Const res is equal to params dot email, and then here in the return I will just pass this res over here, and now I will deploy it first, and then I will show you what it will return when I will call the API. So now I will just copy this URL and come to a new tab over here, and then I will write here email is equal to twd@mail.com, then hit enter, and let's see what it will return us. And yep, as you can see, it does return the same email that we have entered here. So this is the params that we can use to get the email and password in our AirCode. So that's how we can use that. Alright, so after we have learned how to get the email and password, now let's write some if-else statement in the login form. So if you know, whenever we are like login some user, we have to get the email and password, and then we will check if the email and password is valid, then only we can log in as user. So first of all, we need to check the email if it exists in the table or not. For that, I will write here a constant called records, and this will be equal to await. Okay, so here we will use the find method in the database to see whether the email exists in the database or not. So what I will write here, so table dot name, table dot where, and here I will give it email, and then params dot email, and then after that I will write here find. So that's how you can get if the email exists or not. So if this records, it will give you an array, it will return an array. So if this record is empty, that means the user has not even registered or signed up. So we will tell them to register first. But if it is not empty, that means the user has registered and we can check the password later on. Now first of all, let's write some if-else statements. So what I will write here, if record is empty, so this is the way you can write, you can check if the records is empty. So records dot length. Okay, so that's how you can check if the array is empty. So if it is empty, then I will create a variable called res, and this will be an object, and I will write some success which will be true, success which will be false because user has not even registered, and then I will write a message. So this result here, this success and this message, we will then send it to our JavaScript here. Okay, so in the message I will write here email is not registered. Okay, registered, just like that. And you can format document also by clicking on this, and then what I will do, I will just simply return res, just like that. Alright, and I will do it 2 more times, so I have to write 2 else if statements. So I will just copy it and paste it here and also here, and let's change it to else if. And now if records dot length is there, so that means if there is an entry, if the email exists but the password entered by the user is wrong, so how can we check for the password? I will write here records and the first element of the records, so I will write here the bracket 0, then I will write password, so it will get the password from the database, and then I will write if it is not equal to params dot password. Okay, so similarly we will pass the password in the params. Okay, and then we can easily check if the password is correct or not. So here if the password is correct, incorrect, then we will in the message we will write incorrect details. Okay, just like that, and the success will be false. So lastly here will be else if. So if the email exists, and the password is also correct. So let me just write here, and password is also correct, double equal to, then the success will be true here, and in the message we will write login successful. Okay, just like that. Alright, so our login code is complete. I will just save it, and now I'll just copy all of this and paste it in our sign up code here. So I will paste it here, and we just don't need to write a lot of code, we just need to change some of the code here. So let's change some code here. So first of all, in the sign up form we will get the name, email and password. So these three things we will get from the user, and then we will check if the email is already there. So we will just say that you have already registered, but if it not, then we will add the user in our database. So for that also we will need this email, so we will leave this records here as it is. Then this here, if the user is not there, what we will do, we need to add the user in our database. So how we can do that, we will write here let result is equal to await dot table dot save. So this save method is used to insert the data in our table, and here we will insert three entries. The first one is name, and we will get that from the params. So I will write here params dot name, and similarly I'll just copy it and paste it down two more times, and instead of this name I will write here email and then password. Okay, just like that. And after that I will let this res as it is, but we have to convert this false to true, and in the message I will write registered successfully. Okay, and then we will just simply return the res. And in else if, instead of this else if, I will simply write else. So that means the user is there. So for that I will first of all make this success here false, and also I have to remove this else if from here. Okay, so I will have to make this success false. In the message what I will write email already registered. All right, and we are done with the AirCode, all the code in AirCode. So now it is time to deploy both of this login and sign up JS. So let's deploy both of these, and then we will use this URL in our JavaScript here to finalize our login sign up form. And we will just first test it by calling our API. Okay, so let's just copy this sign up URL and paste it over here. And now what I will do, I will write a name which will be user1, then and email. Okay, so make sure the spelling is correct. Email is equal to user1 @ mail.com, and lastly the password. So let's say password is 123. Hit enter and let's see what it will return. So yep, as you can see, there is a message called registered successfully. And now let's take a look at our database if the entry is there. So here it is, our database, and now I'll just click on refresh. And yeah guys, as you can see, there is our entry, name user1, email this and password this. And let's delete this item over here which we have just used for the test. So I will just delete that. Alright, okay. And now let's test our login API as well. So I will come to a new tab over here, and then here I will write email equal to this, and also we have to write password first. So let's write password and password is equal to 123. So hit enter. Hit enter. Okay, so the email, alright, so the email is not this. I have to write user one, and let's see. And yep, as you can see, there is a message called login successful. So our code is running great. Now let's just use it in our JavaScript code over here. So to do that, what I will write, first of all, I will write document dot get element by id, and I will get the login btn. Okay, and then add event listener, click, alright, and a function, and inside the function I will create two more variables called email, which will be equal to document dot get element by id, and here I will write login email dot inner text, and I will copy it down for login password, and here I will write password. That's it. Now we have get the email and password from the user. Then we can write const response is equal to await, and to use await we have to make the function async, so I will write here async. That's it. And await, then I will use fetch, and inside this I will get this URL. So this login URL, I will just copy the URL here, and we will use backticks, and just like that. And then to pass the params, I will write email equal to, and here I will write email. That's it. And password equal to password. All right, now we will make another constant called data is equal to await response dot json. That's it. So in this data we will get our result. So now we can easily use this data over here to check whether the login is successful or not. So now here I will write some if else statement, and I will check for the success. And if success is true, that means login is successful, then I will just simply pass an alert, and in the alert I will write the message, if you remember. And after that I will just simply do some style display none and block over here. So first of all I will do the display of home block, and then what I will do, I will the login count, I will make it none. Okay, and also for the home count, I will write not home count, home name, if you remember. Let me just show you. So this is the ID over here, home name, and inside this I will write here inner text is equal to hello. Let's use backticks, hello, and then data dot name. And one more thing, we need to like return the data as well in the login form, because we haven't done yet. So here I will also return one more thing, which is records 0 dot name, just like that. And now I will just deploy it one more time. Alright, so we have to also include an else. So if the login is not successful, we will just simply alert the user with the message. That's it. And now what I will do, I will just simply copy all of this and do the same thing for the sign up button. Sign up, and we have to create one more variable called sign up name, and also we have to get the URL. So let's copy the URL and paste it over here, and we have to also include name. So here I will write name. That's it. And we can do the same thing. So if that success is, so if the success is true, that means the registration is successful. Then we can just simply do this, and instead of this login form I will just write that. That's it. So that's it guys. I think now we are done with our login and sign up form. So now it's time to check it if it works or not. But before checking our login sign up form, make sure to remove this data.name and write only name, because in our sign up we can easily get this name from that variable. And also one more mistake is there. Instead of this inner text we have to write here value, because it is an input tag and that's why it will return a value. So replace this inner text with value. Now let's save it, and now reload the page, and now we can just simply check it. Okay, so I will just write user email, let me zoom a little bit, user1@mail.com and password 123 and hit submit. And there you go, there is an alert called login successful, and I will just click OK, and there is our home page called hello user1. So our login form is working great. Now let's go to sign up page, and I will just write here twd and a new email called twd@mail.com and password is 999. Let's hit submit, and as you can see registered successfully. And here as you can see there is a home page, and let's see our database as well. Now I will just click refresh, and if there is a new entry over here called name twd and email this and password this. So that's how guys you can create a very simple login and sign up form with almost no knowledge of node.js and mongodb. There is no required of that, and you can simply make a login sign up form. And now I hope you know how to use AirCode, and you can build full stack applications with just using AirCode and no knowledge of node.js and mongodb at all. And also thank you AirCode for sponsoring today's video. I am very grateful for them. And don't forget to check out the AirCode, link will be in the description, so go check it out. And if you have any questions, do comment it below. And if you want some more tutorials on AirCode, let me know, I will make it, don't worry. So that's it for this video guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video and learn something new. And that's it, I will see you in the next one.